Right, let's jump straight into this explainer. Today, we are unpacking the completely fascinating, yet kind of invisible mechanics of human services. We're going to explore how deep empathy and highly structured processes combine to create absolutely exceptional experiences, pulling directly from our chapter material. Whether you realize it or not, our daily lives are literally held together by the unseen architecture of these services. And understanding how to design and deliver them, well, it's basically a masterclass in both logistics and compassion.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the heart of service, move through the service value chain, and talk about putting the user first. Then, we'll look at designing the environment, explore the absolute power of consent, and wrap it all up with a checklist for quality service. Let's get right to it.
Section 1. The Heart of Service, Scale and Origins. Before we talk about how we do service, we really need to grasp the sheer scale of what it is. 55%. That's a massive number. In India alone, the Economic Survey of India for 2024 to 2025 shows the service sector contributing nearly 55% of gross value added. And it doesn't stop there. It employs 30% of the entire workforce. It is an absolute powerhouse. Plus, remember, no service operates in a vacuum. If hospitality booms, while banking, transportation, and journalism have to grow right alongside it.
But before it became this giant economic engine, this kind of work was rooted in something much more profound. It actually goes all the way back to prehistoric times. Living in communities and caring for the sick or elderly was literally essential for human survival. In the Indian ethos, we call this core value Seva. Seva demands profound empathy, compassion, and the ability to put another person's needs entirely at the center of your actions. Today, Seva is everywhere. It's a student helping someone cross the road, doctors treating patients, or even telehealth and online learning. At its heart, it's all about fulfilling needs while fiercely protecting human dignity.
Moving on to Section 2, the service value chain, building the experience. So how exactly does internal empathy transform into a tangible step-by-step service? Let's break down value creation using something super relatable, a simple tea stall. Step 1 is just your basic roadside tea, right? But it's delivered with essential hospitality and hygiene. Then in Step 2, we add a bit more value, maybe comfortable seating or some ready-made snacks. By Step 3, we're upgrading the decor and offering a wider variety of teas. And finally, Step 4, we place this cafe in a beautiful natural setting. The takeaway here is that value in human services doesn't just come from doing the bare minimum. It comes from those intangible elements added at each step. A welcoming smile, an organized space, that's what elevates a basic task into a true service experience.
Section 3. Putting the user first, designing for need.
A successful value chain absolutely requires centering every single decision around the user. Take a flood relief camp, for example. Often these are set up in places like schools with super limited facilities, so portable toilets are strategically organized to maintain hygiene. And because displaced folks might be suffering from exposure, there's a dedicated first aid and medical checkup center right at the entrance. It's all highly engineered. Groceries, clothing, and bedding all have their own separate stations, making it super easy for people to move around and find what they need. The entire makeshift environment is meticulously built around the user's immediate physical and emotional distress.
Honestly, it all boils down to asking two fundamental questions before you even start. Who am I serving, and what do they really need? By asking these, organizers make sure people are treated with the utmost respect and sensitivity. For instance, instead of just handing out pre-cooked meals, maybe it means providing raw rations and stoves so families can cook their own food. It gives them a sense of control over their lives again. It's about empowering the user, not just processing them through a system.
All right, Section 4. Designing the environment, smooth operations.
Empathy is fantastic, but without physical logistics, total chaos. A good service environment is all about how smoothly things actually run on the ground. You have to know exactly what to do and when. Ensure interactions are timely and respectful, and, crucially, set up separate areas for different activities. Think about a busy grocery shop. Missing a single step can cause massive delays, right? Or imagine organizing a huge sports event for 35 different schools. You need distinct activity zones, and you absolutely must have a backup plan to prevent gridlock if someone gets sick or overwhelmed. Smooth operations also mean designing for fair, ethical, and inclusive processes, like having translation help ready at a health clinic.
Now for Section 5, the power of consent, protecting the user.
As we optimize our environment, we have to tackle a totally non-negotiable rule of modern human services. A consent form isn't just paperwork. It's an agreement that protects user safety and builds trust. It tells the person exactly what service they'll get, what's expected of them, and how their data will be used. But here is the absolute most important part. Consent can be withdrawn at any point. It's a bit like those terms of service we all absent-mindedly click agree to online, except in human services, keeping the user actively in control is the literal bedrock of ethical delivery.
And finally, Section 6, delivering quality service, the ultimate checklist. Let's guarantee quality before, during, and after a service is actually provided. This framework elegantly breaks down service delivery into 3 distinct stages to make sure absolutely nothing slips through the cracks. First up is the input, the before stage. This is all your prep work, procuring materials, getting the space spotlessly clean, and securing that all-important consent. Next is the process, the during. This is where a smooth workflow, respectful interactions, and safe practices, including cyber safety, take center stage. You're actively listening and adapting on the fly. And finally, the output, the after stage. Listen, a service isn't finished just because the user walked away. You've got to safely dispose of waste, leave the workplace cleaner than you found it, collect feedback, and follow up to figure out how to do it even better next time.
Throughout this explainer, we've seen that delivering a service is a carefully engineered journey. It's this perfect marriage of deep-rooted empathy and incredibly precise modern logistics. So I'm going to leave you with a challenge. Look around your daily life. Think of a local service you use all the time and ask yourself, how could you redesign its value chain, its environment, or its processes to create a truly exceptional, totally user-centered experience? Thanks for joining me as we unpack this chapter on human services. Keep looking for ways to add value out there.